Now in Japan, there is 6 workers for every 12 person. But in 2025, there will be just 2 productive workers for every 3rd worker. This burden will be huge, and young people will wonder why they should be here. This may lead into generation conflict. In the years ahead, class warfare will be narrowly defined to not the poor against the rich, but the young against the old. Number 15. In almost all industrial countries, social security schemes are unsustainable. They are mostly pay-as-you-go programs of kind funded by German state and owned by this market or central group. These plans do not involve real savings, and instead they work from today's workers to play for today's retirees. This means that they rely on future on external workers or retirees. Or the baby boom retire, the cyclical burst. Warriors will retire adjustments such as retirement, higher taxes, or cutback on their effect. Already, the retirement age to receive Social Security benefits has been in the United States, and more increases are likely. Now in Japan, there are 6 workers for every retired person. But in 2025, there will be 2 productive workers for every retired worker. This burden will be huge, and young people will wonder where we should build. Italian conflict. In the years ahead, class warfare will be newly defined to be not the poor against the rich, but the young against the old. 調子悪いな. In almost all industrial countries, social security schemes are unsustainable. They are mostly pay-as-you-go programs, all kind of funded by the German statement of Alban Bismarck a century ago. These plans do not real savings, and instead we borrow from today's workers to pay for today's retirees. This means they rely on huge excess of workers over retirees. When the baby boom retires, the system will go bust. This will result adjustments such as retirement, higher taxes, or cutback in benefits. Already, the retirement age to receive Social Security benefits has been in the United States, and more increases are likely. Now in Japan, there are 6 workers for every retired person, but in 2024, there will be just 2 productive workers for every retired worker. This burden will be huge, and young people will wonder where they bury it. This may lead to great intergeneration conflicts. In the years ahead, class warfare will be newly defined to mean not the poor against the rich, but the young against the old. In almost all industrial countries, social security schemes are unsustainable. They are mostly pay-as-you-go programs of the kind funded by the German state by Alban Bismarck a century ago. These plans do not involve real savings, and instead they borrow from the workers to pay the state workers. This means there are future retirees. When baby boomers retire, the system will go bust, or at least will adjustments such as higher taxes, or cashback in benefits. Already, the retirement age to receive Social Security benefits are more increases are likely. Now in Japan, there are 6 workers for every third person, but in 2024, there will be 2 brothers. こいつ聞き取りにくいんだよ、なんか。なんか聞き取りにくいよな。なんか聞き取りにくいんだよな。In almost all industrial countries, social security schemes are unsustainable. They are mostly pay-as-you-go programs of kind funded by German state outbound Bismarck a century ago. These plans do not really... なんでだ A century ago. These plans do not involve yearly savings, and instead they borrow from trade workers to pay for today's retirees. This means that when baby boomer retire, the system will go bust. Well, this requires adjustments such as later retirement, higher taxes, or cutback in benefits. Already, the retirement age to receive Social Security benefits has been raised in the United States, and more increases are likely. Now in Japan, there are 6 workers for every third person, but in 2025, there will be just 2 productive workers for every third worker. This burden will be huge, and young people will wonder why they should bear it. This may lead to great intergenerational conflict. In the years ahead, class warfare will be newly defined to mean not the poor against the rich, but young against old. 音量か This burden huge. Young people wonder why they share it. This may lead to great intergenerational conflict. In the years ahead, class warfare will be newly defined to mean not the poor against the rich, but the young against the old. Number 15. In almost all industrial countries, social security schemes are unsustainable. They are mostly pay-as-you-go programs of kind funded by German state advertisement a century ago. These plans do not involve real savings, and instead were borrowed from slave workers to pay for the slave retirees. This means that there are a huge excess of workers over retirees. When baby boomers retire, the system will go bust. For this, there are over retirees. When baby boomers retire, the system will go bust. For this, other will retire adjustments such as retirement, higher taxes, or cutback in benefits. Already, the retirement age to receive Social Security benefits has been raised in the United States, and more increases are likely. Now in Japan, there are 6 workers who are able to retire a person, but in 2025, there will go. This value will be huge, and young people will wonder why they will share generation conflict. In the years ahead, the class warfare will be newly defined to mean not the foreign against the rich, but the young against the old. Number 15. In almost all industrial countries, social security schemes are unstable. They are mostly pay-as-you-go programs or kind funded by the German state Urban Bank a century ago. These plans don't involve real savings, and instead they borrow from teleworkers to pay for the retirees. This means that there are huge excess of workers over retirees. When the baby boom retires, the system will go bust. Well, at least will require adjustments such as later retirement, higher taxes, or cutback in benefits. Already, the retirement age to receive Social Security benefits has been raised in the United States, and more increases are likely. Now in Japan, there are six workers for the auto. This weather huge, young people will wonder why they should be. This may lead to the great intergenerational conflict. In the years ahead, class warfare will be newly defined through not ah, ah, ah. For almost all the countries, social security schemes are sustainable. 違う違う、最初やん。違うって。The young people wonder why they should be it. This may lead to great international conflict. In the years ahead, class warfare will be newly defined to mean not the poor against the rich, but the young against the old. But people wonder why they were shaped. This may lead to great intergenerational conflict. In the year ahead, class warfare will be newly defined to mean not the poor against the rich, but the young against the old. Huge, young people wonder why they should be it. This may lead to great intergenerational conflict. In the years ahead, class warfare will be newly defined to mean not the poor against the rich, but the young against the old. Huge, young people will wonder why they should be it. This may lead to great intergenerational conflict. In the years ahead, class warfare will be newly defined to mean not the poor against the rich, but the young against the old. Varied. This may lead to great intergenerational conflict. In the years ahead, class warfare will be newly defined to mean not the poor against the rich, but the young against the old. Against the old. In almost all industrial countries, social security schemes are unsustainable. They are mostly pay-as-you-go programs of the kind defined by the German statement Urban Bank a century ago. Their plans do not involve real savings. Instead, they borrow from trade workers to pay for retirees. This means that there will be huge excess of workers over retirees. When the baby boomer retires, the system will go bust. Or risk adjustments such as retirement, higher taxes, or cutback in benefits. Already, the retirement age to receive Social Security benefits has been raised in the United States, and more increases are likely. Now in Japan, there are six workers for every retired person, but in 2024, there will be two productive workers for every retired worker. This burden will be huge, and young people will wonder why they should bear it. This may lead to great intergenerational conflict. In the years ahead, class warfare will be newly defined to not the poor against the rich, but the young against the old. In almost all industrial countries, social security schemes are unstable. They are mostly pay-as-you-go programs of kind funded by the German state Urban Bank a century ago. These plans to involve real savings, and instead they borrow from trade workers to pay for their retirees. This means that they rely on the stage Urban Bank a century ago. These plans do not rely on savings, and save well from the workers to pay for their retirees. This means that they rely on huge access of workers over retirees. When the baby boomer retires, the system will go bust. Or at least will require adjustments such as rare retirement, higher taxes, or cutback benefits. Already, the retirement age to receive Social Security benefits has been raised in the United States. One increase directly. Now in Japan, there are 6 workers for every 10 person. But in 2025, there will be just 2 workers for every third worker. This burden will be huge, and young people will wonder why they should bear it. This may lead to great intergenerational conflict. In the years ahead, class warfare will be newly defined to mean not the poor against the rich, but the young against the old. In almost all industrial countries, social security schemes are unsustainable. They're mostly pay-as-you-go programs of the kind funded by the German state-owned urban district a century ago. These plans do not involve real savings, and instead release all of the uh, as I said, one of these workers to pay the fraud Negro program on a kind funded Jameson urban district a century ago. These programs do not involve real savings, and instead they borrow from trade workers to pay for trade retirees. This means that they rely on huge excess of workers over retirees. When the baby boomers retire, the system will go bust. Or this, critical adjustments such as retirement, higher taxes, a cutback in benefits. Already, the retirement age to receive Social Security benefits has been raised in the United States, and more increases are likely. These plans do not involve their savings, and instead they borrow from trade workers to pay for the trade retirees. This means that they rely on huge excess of workers over retirees. When the baby boomers retire, the system will go bust. One risk will require adjustments such as later retirement, higher taxes, or cutback in benefits. Program on kind from German statesman Alban Bismarck a century ago. These plans do not involve real savings, and instead they borrow from today's workers to pay for the today's retirees. This means that they rely on huge excess of workers over retirees. When the baby boomers retire, the system will go bust, while this will require adjustments such as later retirement, higher taxes, or cutback in benefits. Already, the retirement age to receive Social Security benefits has been raised in the United States, and more increases are likely. These plans do not involve savings. These plans do not involve real savings, and instead buy over from trade workers. なんかな Alban Bismarck a century ago. These plans do this not these plans do not these plans do not these plans do not involve real savings. These plans do not involve real came from German statesman Alban Bismarck a century ago. These plans do not these plans do not involve uh Carol John says Alban Bismarck a century ago. These plans do not involve real savings, and instead they were from trade workers to pay for trade retirees. This means that there are huge excess of workers over retirees. When the baby boomers retire, the system will go bust, or the risk will require adjustments such as retirement, higher taxes, or cutback in benefits. Already, the retirement age to receive Social Security benefits has been raised in the United States, and more increases are likely. This was Alban Bismarck a century ago. These plans do not involve real savings, and instead they borrow from trade projects who はA century ago, these funds do not involve real savings, and instead they borrow from today's workers to pay for today's retirees. This means that they rely on huge...こいつ早いね。いや、もう、早いって、読むのが。昨日の人はゆっくりだったわ。イラつくわ。German section album this week, a century ago. These plans do not involve real savings, and instead they borrow from today's workers to pay for today's retirees. This means that they rely on huge excess of workers over retirees. When baby boomers retire, the system will go worse. Uh, what risk? What risk? What risk? T をいいダイパンみたいになっちゃった。What risk? What risk? What risk? What risk will require adjustments? Excess of worker or retirees. When a baby boomer retires, the system will go bust. What risk will require adjustments such as rate of retirement, higher taxes, or cashback in benefits. Excess of workers or retirees. When a baby boomer retires, the system will go bust. What risk will require adjustments such as rate of retirement, higher taxes, or cashback in benefits. Already, the retirement age to receive Social Security benefits has raised in the United States, and more increases are likely. The baby boomer retires, the system will go bust. All risks will require adjustments such as ah, such rate of retirement. This means that all risks will require ちょっともう、はぁ This means there is huge excess of workers over retirees. When the baby boomers retire, the system will go worse. All risks will require adjustments such as rate of retirement, higher taxes, or cashback in benefits. Already, the retirement age to receive Social Security benefits has been raised in the United States, and more increases are likely. Number 15. In almost all industrial countries, Social Security schemes are unsustainable. They are mostly pay-as-you-go programs and kind of funded by German state of urban district a century ago. These plans do not involve real savings, and instead they work from today's workers to pay for today's retirees. This means that they rely on もう rely on workers pay for today's. This means ああ This means that there are this means that there are this means that there are refugees. はあ that there are 言えオンをちゃんと to pay for today's retirees. They rely on huge excess. This means that they rely on huge excess. This means that they rely on a huge excess of workers over retirees. Involve savings, and instead work from today's workers who pay for work today's retirees. ああ、マジで。マジで。And instead, they borrow from today's workers, pay for today's retirees. This means that they rely on huge excess of rely on a huge rely on the retirees. This means that they rely on a huge they rely on they rely on a huge excess. They rely on huge excess. That is, they rely on a huge excess. They rely on a huge excess of